Good afternoon, grade nines. I want to take a minute and quickly discuss how your painting projects are evolving and give you some pointers. To start with, I just want you to think about the fact that the way that you're applying the paint will be different for each person. So, there's certain kind of general rules that you'll hear myself and Miss Sunley is there to help you with that. She's also has a degree in art like myself and has particularly an interest in painting, so very much has good feedback for you that you should be listening to. So there's certain rules that will make it easier for you, but depending on your image, that's also going to influence the way that you put your paint on. So, for example, with this image, this portrait by Frida Kahlo, I look at the background and think I would probably do that first. And it looks like that was maybe done with some kind of a sponge, maybe even some water added and stuff to get these kind of blotchy, cloudy kind of looks in the background. So a little bit similar to what we did with watercolor. So that might be my very first layer. And when I do that, I've already drawn my character, my figure on here with pencil. Then when I go through the background, I don't care if the paint, goes from the clouds of the background onto where Frida's hair is going to be painted, because I'm going to paint right over top of that. So in fact, it's probably better for my cloudy background to kind of go over top of and cover part of the back part of the hair, so that I create a nice line there when I actually go to paint, the shape of the hair on later. I would also look at in this example, where can I use the same color in more than one place? So, for example, if I look by her ear and look at this leaf here, that's a very similar color to what's going on her clothing. So, if I'm painting that particular leaf, I might also be putting a layer on my clothing as well at the same time. The way that this works with acrylic, and I'm sure you're already figuring this out, is that you're going to paint a layer and then paint another layer on top of that and another layer on top of that and so on until you get the colors and the sort of blend that you're looking for. Okay, so it's not like you're just going to put one layer down and then you're done just because there's a coat of paint there. It's like, no, you have to keep adding layers. And in fact, if I look at her, we talked a bit about this last week, but the closest layer to us is, let's say, for example, this little speck of white on the pupil of her eye. That might have been one of the last things that she painted on the canvas. After she's built up all these other layers towards us, the audience, she's going in and adding that last little detail of white, right? Which is just bringing those eyes to life. So really be thinking about that. Just because you've got the surface covered with paint in one area, that doesn't mean it's done, right? It might take multiple colors and blending of different colors in order to get the image to look the way you want it to look. All right, I'll just quickly check out a couple others. So we looked at this version of a portrait by Gustav Klimt, and I just want you to keep in mind that you could make an image that has just a colorful pattern for a background, similar to what we did with our Zentangle projects. So it doesn't need to be something that looks photorealistic or from this world. It can be just like an interesting color choice or pattern, but generally not just a straight flat color, right? Like more than one color or some kind of texture going on will make it more interesting for us to look at. Okay, lastly, let's take a look at Van Gogh here. We've got an image that's predominantly blue. So I would say that if this were my canvas, I might do like a whole layer of blue in the background, all the way from the sky throughout the jacket, right? And because I can share that same palette. And then after that dries, I can go in and start adding sort of the different blues and highlights and lowlights throughout in order to bring that canvas to life. So as I said, depending on what you chose to paint, the way you apply it, or like where you put the colors at which time, might vary a little bit. But there are some things that are sort of universal. And please do, look around to other leaders in the class, and certainly Miss Sunley, who's got a lot of experience with painting, in order for advice. I also just want to say, like, your behaviors are really important right now to this functioning well. So I did hear about some stuff going on yesterday with paint getting on individuals and that sort of thing because of whatever reasons. I really need you to be on it and be focused. The only way we're going to get there successfully is if we're really putting in our best work right now. And I know that's tough with everything being so distracting as it has been. And obviously I'm not there, and I wish I were. I'll leave you with that for now for today. Happy painting, grade nines. I wish I was there with you. Take care of yourselves, and we'll check in again tomorrow.